Hello, you absolutely legendary human beings. Guys, do you find yourself perpetually holding back and not really going all in, not hitting on women that you're into, not going on amazing dates, and holding back even when you are on a date? Being afraid to say, I find you attractive. I'd love to take you back to my place. Are fears, insecurities, limiting beliefs, doubts, etc., stopping you from making moves and building that sex life that you've always dreamed of? Do you catch yourself playing it safe and holding back and playing not to lose instead of being that courageous masculine man that you know you can be? Today, we are going to go deep on some of your limiting beliefs, especially when it comes to being honest and upfront and making it apparent to women that you're into them, that you find them attractive, that you would like to have sex with them. We're going to smash each one of these limiting beliefs until you become that badass warrior that I know you can be. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, I'm Andy. I've built a sex life that I'm very, very happy with. I've had plenty of threesomes, plenty of BDSM, plenty of kink, all of that fun stuff. I have a girlfriend, Imi, that I've been dating for about 7 years now. We date and sleep with women together, exploring sex, BDSM, kink, and all of that good stuff. I've also coached hundreds of other men on building their own elite sex lives. And if we can all do it, you sure as hell can too. So one of the big limiting beliefs that I hear a lot from you guys and men in general is women don't like it when guys are upfront about sex. You've got to play these cute little games of when you invite her back to your place, you have to say, let's Netflix and chill, or let's just have a drink and see what happens. Instead of just being honest about the fact that you want to have sex with her, or maybe before you even hit on her, you see some cute girl in the shopping mall or whatever, you want to go say hi, but you're afraid. What if she knows that I'm into her? What if I look like a creep? What if she thinks that I'm thinking about sex? You basically have this shame, guilt, and fear around being a sexual masculine man and then having someone else, in this case her, find that out. But what you probably don't realize is a hell of a lot of women appreciate your honesty. They're looking for a man who's masculine enough to say, I find you attractive, or I find you sexy. Would you like to go on a date with me? Or when you're on the date, do you want to come back to my place? What for? Whatever we feel like. We can fool around, we can make out, we can have sex. I'm into you. I find you attractive. Do you want to have sex with me? There are so many men out there that are either playing it safe or just outright pretending and lying that they don't want sex. And she says, why are we going on a date? Or what do you want? Or why are we going back to your place? And he just plays it. I was going to say plays it safe, but plays it fake and just says, oh, we'll go back and have a drink. Or, oh, we'll go watch a movie. We'll Netflix and chill. Women aren't stupid. They're just not always, a lot of them, very assertive. And so what I mean by that is a lot of the time, most of the time, they can tell you want to fuck them, but they're not necessarily assertive enough to call you out on your bullshit. Even then, a lot of them do. A lot of women will straight up just be like, oh, going back to your place for Netflix and chill, are we? This is what happens if you're not upfront and honest. Women will test you. You get all these things, that guys call shit tests because you fucking lied. You started the process where now she has to try and extract the truth from you when you could just be upfront and honest. And again, there are so many women out there that are freaking dying for a man that would just be honest and tell her what she already knows. Yes, I find you attractive. Yes, I would like to have sex with you. Would you like that? If you don't want to, that's beautiful. If you do want to, amazing. Let's go and have a great sex life together. And so the next time you see a girl that you're into, what happens if you go up and just say, you're attractive, I wanted to come say hi. Or you're so pretty, I just had to come and say, hey, are you single? Or hell, you want to be ballsy? You're really hot. You're so fucking attractive. I had to come say hi. Beautiful things will happen. It's just that a lot of you are too afraid to even try. But I'm giving you this little challenge. Go out there and try. Well, the next time you're on a date, try saying, by the way, you're incredibly hot. She'll blush, she'll giggle, and then say, you're so hot, can I kiss you? And just see what happens. Try saying, do you want to come back to my place? I'm really into you. I'm having a good time. I'd love to fool around with you. Maybe have sex if you're into that. If you're not, I'd at least like to make out with you and fool around. Like, what do you want to do? And I think what you'll find is not only do you get more of what you want, because now you've stated your intentions clearly, you're not wasting time, you're not wasting her time or yours, but the sex ends up being 10 times better because now you have built trust. Now you can trust each other. She can trust that you are a masculine man who's going to say what he wants. You're not going to fuck around and try and get sex from her or get something from her. You're going to state your intentions clearly, and she can either say yes or she can say no. What do you think happens when you go to the bedroom? She can now trust you. Now she can relax and let go and open up, and the sex will be more passionate. It'll be more intimate. It'll be deeper. and she can open up to you about her kinks and all the things that she's been too afraid to tell other guys because she doesn't trust them yet, because they are not honest and upfront. I say this all the time. Trust has to come from you. Trust has to be initiated by you. How do you do that? With honesty and being authentic and a little bit of vulnerability thrown in there too. And I say this a lot. Women are drawn to men who own their desires without shame. A lot of you are playing not to lose, and you're coming from this place of like fear or shame or guilt. Like, my sex drive is bad. I, as a masculine, biological, masculine, testosterone-filled, red-blooded male, get horny when I see an attractive woman. I want to have sex with her. That's bad. I should feel ashamed about that. I should have fear around that. I should feel guilty about that. I should try and hide that. That's not sexy. It is not fucking attractive to be ashamed of your desires. And now if you feel shame, that's okay. I have done a ton of videos on my channel about shame and guilt around sex and not owning your masculine energy and your masculine presence. So go check those videos out. But it's not attractive to be deeply filled with shame. It's something that I would absolutely recommend you work on. If you can own your desires and say, I find you sexy, I would like to have sex with you, would you like that? My God, is that attractive? Because that comes across as incredibly confident. Even if you're terrified when you say it, you can even be honest with her and literally say, hey, look, I'll be honest. I'm really nervous to say this, but like, I find you really attractive. I'd love to take you out for a date. Or I find you really attractive. Do you want to go back to my place and fool around and see what happens? We can have sex if we want to. Do you want that? You don't have to be good when you say it. You don't have to do a good job. You don't have to be smooth. Just try fucking saying it. And not every woman's going to say yes, but my God, even if they say no, they will respect your balls. And what will surprise you is a lot of them will say yes. Because that leads me into my next point. Women also want sex. Society paints women as the gatekeepers of sex and almost like they don't want sex. And they're just going to keep saying no to all the men that offer it until finally one day she gives in and she goes, oh, fine, okay, I guess I'll have sex with you because then maybe I'll get something out of it. There are some women like that, obviously, but there are a hell of a lot of women out there who get fucking horny. There are a lot of women out there who want intimacy, sex, connection, and all of that stuff. Guess what? Women have pleasure too, or women experience pleasure too. And if you go out there with that play to win mindset where you're like, okay, I know a lot of women, or I'm going to trust Andy, a lot of women out there want sex. It's my mission to go out there and find them. And the ones who don't want sex or don't want sex with me or don't like sex or have hang-ups or feel like a slut or whatever, fine, great. I just won't meet those people, or I'll meet them. I'll quickly realize that they have that mindset around sex, and then I'll move on and talk to the next person. In other words, I will play to win. I will go and find the women that want sex as much as I want it. And there are a hell of a lot of women out there that want sex. And if you're the guy that walks up and says, hey, I find you really sexy, or you're on a date, hey, I'd love to get out of here, go back to my place and fool around. Is that something that you want? Those women are going to fucking love you because, again, most men play it incredibly safe. They're playing not to lose. They're going, holy shit, I hope I don't say the wrong thing. I hope she doesn't think that I want sex. I got to hide my intentions and pretend I don't want something that I really deeply want. Women are so sick of being led on by those guys. Like having their time wasted and he's wasting his own time. And if you come along as the honest, upfront, masculine man, a lot of women will fucking love you for that. I'll show a couple of screenshots of text messages on the screen right now. There are so many women that will tell you, thank you for being honest. And the reason for that is honesty saves everyone time. If you're not upfront, you risk leading her on, wasting her time, wasting your own time, and you're wasting time with someone who might not have the same values around sex as you, who might not want sex. And this is why I talk about being as upfront and honest as you can. On a dating app, I would say it before you even meet someone, like before you get their phone number. Say what you're looking for. Put it in your bio. Put it in your profile. If you want something sexual, like something casual, like a casual friends with benefits, fucking put that in your bio or say it. If you're looking for something a little deeper, like a long-term relationship, say that. Say, I want to meet someone, see if there's chemistry, because ultimately I'm looking for a longer-term relationship. Say what you want, and you will save them and yourself time. Because a mindset I say all the time is rejection is better than regret. And you guys know that I say there's no such thing as rejection. Rejection is she's saying no to your offer. She's not really rejecting you as a person. But let's use the word rejection for now, because a lot of people like this word. They simultaneously hate rejection, but they also use the word a hell of a lot. But even if she rejects you, that's better than you sitting there talking to her for weeks and not making a move and then regretting it because she goes and bees with someone else, or she just gets sick of waiting for you, or you see some cute girl out in public and you're too afraid to just walk up and say, you're hot, you're pretty, you're cute, you're adorable, you look nice. Do you want to go on a date with me? And so you don't make a move, and then she wanders off, and now you're stuck living with that regret, the regret of what might have been. One of my favorite poems is, "Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these, it might have been." In other words, don't sit there wondering what would have happened if I'd hit on her. Would we have gone on a date? Would we have had sex? Maybe she'd become my future fucking wife. Go and make a move. And even if she says no, at least you have your answer now. And so go and be upfront and honest. And then you will find out really quickly if she's a hell yes or a no thank you. And something else I want to point out here is women are adults. They can handle shit. So often, like, men will treat women as if they're this precious princess that's just going to fall apart and crumble just because you were upfront and honest. Almost like you think you're doing her a favor if you hold back and don't tell her that you want to have sex with her. You're like, oh, her delicate sensibilities might be fucking hurt. Oh, she might not be able to handle that one man on the planet wants to fuck her. Guess what? She knows she's not retarded. And so if you treat her like an adult and say, I find you sexy, we are both adults here, I want to tell you the truth, we can talk about this. You either want to have sex with me or you don't, or maybe you want to go on a date and find out, but you know what I mean. You're either open to the idea of sex with me or you're not. I'm going to treat you like a fucking adult and be upfront and say, this is what I want. Do you want the same thing? And if somebody can't be an adult back to you and they can't give you an answer and they play around and they go, oh, I don't know, ha ha ha, move on. Go find the woman who can be an adult with you and say, I'm open to that. Let's go on a date and see if we like each other. Let's go see if there's some chemistry. Brilliant. Now we've both communicated like fucking adults and we've used our words instead of me thinking she's like some sort of precious glass, fragile flower that's just going to fall apart because I said, I find you hot, or here's what I want this, do you want the same thing? And you can think of honesty as a sign of respect. You're literally saying, I respect you enough that I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to fuck around. I'm not going to treat you like I have to have kid gloves on or something, like I have to wrap you up in cotton wool because you're going to have a breakdown because I told you that you're attractive. No, you're actually respecting her. You're respecting her time. You're respecting your own goddamn time. You're not wasting time. Do you know how many people in dating waste each other's time? Because one person wants one thing, the other person wants something slightly different, and they don't fucking talk about it. And so they go on dates for weeks, sometimes months, until finally one of them says, hey, here's what I want. Or they just, even worse, try and manipulate each other and get the things out of each other that they want. I'm going to get sex from you. I'm going to get a relationship from you. I'm going to extract money from you. Instead of seeing it like that, what if you see it as I'm going to give? I'm going to give her honesty. I'm going to give her a great experience if she wants to do it with me. I'm going to give her the opportunity to say yes or no. And I'm going to give myself all of those things at the same time. And so if you can respect people enough to be honest with them and respect yourself enough to want an honest answer back and then not tolerate anyone who can't give you an honest answer back, because there's plenty of those people, if you move the fuck on and go talk to the next person, my God, dating is so much easier. It is so much easier to find the people that can be honest and upfront with you, just like this screenshot right here points out. As for how to actually do it, something that I want to point out here as a distinction, a lot of you are really afraid, like, women won't like if I'm really direct. Women don't like it when a guy talks about sex. No, what most women, I guess most people don't like, is being crude. But what a lot of people like is being direct. In other words, you can be upfront, honest, authentic, and completely direct while still being extremely polite. I literally did an interview with a coaching client recently where what he says on dating apps is, hey, I'd love to exchange orgasms with you. Is that something you're open to? That is so unbelievably direct, but it's also unbelievably polite. And any women that say, oh, you can't say that, or no, thank you, he just goes, hey, beautiful. I hope you find what you're looking for. All the best, nothing but love for you. I do exactly the same thing. If you look at my messaging and what I send, I literally say, hey, me and my girlfriend Emmy are in an open relationship. We both like to explore BDSM and threesomes and all of that sort of stuff. Do you have experience with that? Or is that something you'd like to explore? That's very polite. And that's what we're like on the dates. We just say, hey, you know what sex stuff have you tried? Let's talk about it. Is there anything in particular you want to try? Is there anything you've always thought about? And we just talk about sex, but in a very polite way. And if somebody ever says, I don't want to talk about this, or no, thank you, we're like, hey, beautiful, namaste. Go and find the person that you want to date. We'll go and find the people that we want to date. Nothing but love for you. And this is what I recommend to all of my coaching clients and all of you. Be extremely direct, like literally say what you want in no uncertain terms, 100% autistic honesty. Be completely upfront and pair that with politeness, or pair that with compassion, or pair that with gratitude and understanding that not everyone is going to appreciate you being so direct. Like some people won't like it. They'll be a bit put off by it. Not everyone is going to want the same thing as you. That's beautiful. Isn't it nice that we all want different things and there's this wide, varied tapestry of life? Go out and find the people that want what you want. If it's a little easier for you, I know it is for some of you, you can throw in a little bit of flirtiness there. So say you're on a date. I like to be just completely autistic honesty and lay out all my cards on the table. And I don't really flirt as much. I have sometimes, but mostly what I just do is I'm on a date, or maybe me and Imogen are on a date with another girl. I will literally just say like, hey, what sex stuff have you always wanted to try? I just bring it up like autistically, honestly. Or I will just say, you're so pretty, can I kiss you? Or I'll say like, hey, we're having fun. We'd love to go back to our place and we can have sex together. Is that something you want? I just say it. But for a lot of you, you might feel a little bit more comfortable being this honest if you do it in a flirty way. So like maybe you're sitting there, you're on a date, you can kind of throw out a little bit of flirty teasing. Like you can say, wow, you are like way too cute for me to be pretending that I don't want to kiss you right now. And she'll kind of giggle and blush and all of that. You can throw in a little bit of flirtiness or a little bit of silliness, a little bit of having fun with this. You don't have to be so blunt and like autistically honest like I am. But that said, you don't have to flirt. I basically never flirt. I just say what I want. A lot of my coaching clients and some of my fellow coaches like Taylor, they literally are just completely autistically honest and upfront. They're like, hey, I want to take you on a date because you're really sexy. Then on the date, yo, you're so sexy. Can I kiss you? I really want to kiss you. And then, hey, I'm having so much fun. I'd love to go back to my place. We can make out. We can fool around. We can have sex if you're up for that. If you're not, just let me know. What do you want to do? So you can be as upfront and autistically like plain, like you speak plainly and say what you want, or you can flirt if you want. But the message here is honesty and being real and saying what you actually want. And you'll notice the way that I've been phrasing this each time I've given an example is I always ask. I don't tell. I don't bulldoze over the top of her and try and be like an alpha fucking male who's like, hey, sweet cheeks, here's what we're going to do. You're going to do this. You're going to shut the fuck up and do what I say. No, I'm always asking. I'll say, hey, I find you sexy. Can I kiss you? Yo, you're so hot. I'd love to take you out sometime. Do you want to give me your phone number? Or on the date when it's time to go back to my place. I'm not like, all right, come on, let's go back to my place and have sex. No, I'm like, we're having fun or I'm having fun. You're really sexy. Do you want to go back to my place and fool around or we can make out or we can have sex? What do you want to do? And I've talked about this a lot. If you want to be a leader or a masculine leader, say what you want. That's the first step. Ask her for feedback or say, do you want the same thing? And then you two figure it out together. So you initiate, you lead and say what you want, and then you ask what she wants. So you're not just going over the top and being controlling and saying, I'm going to steamroll over the top of you and we're going to do whatever I want. No, you say, here's what I want. You don't beat around the bush. You're like, here's exactly what I want. What do you want? And you'll find a lot of women love that masculine leadership paired with a little bit of niceness and politeness and kindness. Basically, giving a shit what she wants, because one of my mottos with sex and dating and everything really is it's only fun if you're also having fun. And I will literally tell that to a lot of women. I'll literally say, this is only fun if you're also having fun. I only want to do this with you if you want to do it with me. There's no point me having sex with you if you don't really want to be there, or you're just doing it because, I don't know, why not? I'd rather you passionately want to be there. I'd rather you wholeheartedly throw everything you have into it and go, fuck yes, I want to have crazy wild sex with you. I'm not interested in a maybe. I'm not interested in someone who says yes just because I steamrolled over the top of them. I want to find the people who are a fuck yes. And I say this to a lot of my coaching clients. Part of how you can get decent at this stuff is practicing over text. A lot of you are really afraid to do it in person, and that's okay. I can't tell you how scared I was to be this upfront and honest in person. I was so terrified. So I just practiced over text. Like start sending some honest text messages. Start being real and authentic and a little bit vulnerable on dating apps. Like just be honest in your first couple of messages. Like, hey, I find you really attractive. I'd love to take you out for a date sometime. Tell me a bit about you. Boom, now you're into it. Send a couple of messages. Don't sit there for weeks and weeks and weeks because that's not honest. That's you wasting your time and wasting her time. What you want is to meet up with someone and get to know them. So be honest about that. Text a little bit and then just be like, hey, I'd love to meet you for that drink sometime. Let's, grab that drink. Can I get your phone number? Be honest and authentic over text first, and then you can practice in person. And then once you get her phone number, be extremely straight to the point. I'll show on the screen a couple of different text messages. If you have a look, literally all I text is like, hey, thank you for the phone number, or hey, cheers. Are you free on Friday at 6 p.m.? Are you free on Saturday at 3 p.m.? Let's grab that coffee or let's grab that drink. I'm just straight to the point. I don't waste time. No time to fuck around. Let's meet and see if we actually have chemistry and see if we want the same thing. And what you're doing here, if you're this upfront and honest early on, is you're saving her time and you're saving misunderstandings. Do you know how frustrated women get by guys that pretend they want a relationship just to get sex? And if you want a relationship, great, brilliant, like say that. But so many guys out there, so many of you listening, just want to have a friends with benefits. You want to get a bit of casual experience. You want to have some fun. You just want to practice your sexual skills. You want to meet someone, get to know them, be friends with them, and hook up, once or twice a week. Be honest about that. Women are so sick to fucking death of guys who just pretend, oh, I want to date you. I'm looking for something long-term. Sure, I want whatever you want. But really all he wants is sex. If you are honest and you say, I'm just looking for something casual, I'm looking for a casual friends with benefits, maybe, someone that I meet with a couple of times a week or once a week. We're friends, we have a good time, we get to know each other a little bit, but mostly we focus on sex. There are so many women out there that want that are literally hunting for that, looking for that. And when you come along and say, this is what I want, she's like, holy shit, that's the guy I'm going to go on a date with. Because I know he won't waste my fucking time. I won't have to sit there wondering what he wants. Does he want sex? Does he not? He's told me, we're on the same page. Let's do this thing. And maybe we'll finish up here with a little bit of fears and sort of limiting beliefs that some of you might have. I think the biggest one is a fear of judgment. Like that's where this stems from. I'm afraid she will judge me. I'm afraid maybe other guys will judge me, but mostly you're afraid she'll judge you. If she finds out that you want sex, that you're a sexual man, holy shit, heaven forbid you have some testosterone and a dick and balls that you want to use. Holy fuck, the world's going to fall down. That is all an illusion. Because I said it before, but rejection isn't real. It's not about you. It's about the lack of compatibility. In other words, she doesn't want the same thing that you want. It is almost never that she personally thinks that you're unworthy and unlovable and a piece of shit and you should crawl into a hole and die. No, most of the time she's just not into what you're into. Or she doesn't feel like there's some sexual chemistry between you. Or maybe there's not some attraction between you. But that doesn't mean that there is never going to be any attraction between you and anyone else on the entire planet. There are plenty of women out there that will find you attractive, especially if you do what I talk about and improve yourself, take better pictures, go outside and talk to some women, work on your self-love, work on building some hobbies and friends and all of that. Become a man who's a little bit more attractive than you were yesterday, just focus on some progress, not perfection. If you're doing all of that, I promise that you will find more women that are into you. And just because one woman isn't, or she doesn't want the same thing you want, that doesn't mean that you lost anything. She wasn't yours in the first place. She's not a possession that you lost. So many of you are afraid, if I'm honest, if I tell her my true intentions, if I make it clear that I'm into her, I'll lose her. What the fuck? No, if you're honest with someone and you tell them what you want and they don't want the same thing and they say no, how the fuck were you going to get them? Were you going to trick them? Were you just going to pretend that you didn't want sex even though you did? And yeah, that's what a lot of people do. Don't be one of those people. It just leads to you wasting your own time, wasting hers, feeling guilty, feeling ashamed. You're literally telling yourself, if you hide your sex drive, you are telling yourself that my sex drive is something to be ashamed of. It's something that I shouldn't be proud of. It's something bad. And then you're going to go out there and try and have sex? You've literally labeled it bad in your own mind through your actions of hiding it. How do you think that's going to make you have more sex? You're labeling it bad. Your own psyche is going to fight against you. Your self-sabotage. Other people will sabotage you. Women that you try and hit on will sabotage you because you're a liar. You're not meaning to be, but you're lying and hiding your true intentions. But if you can be honest and upfront and proud of what you're doing and proud of that sex drive that you have or whatever it is that you want and put that out there, people that resonate with that and want the same thing will come running towards you. I promise you. The more upfront and honest you can be, you become a magnet. You literally become magnetic to the people that want the same thing. It's like you're holding a giant sign up saying, hey everyone, here's what I want. Who wants the same thing? And other people that have been walking around, and there are so many women like this, walking around going, I really want a masculine guy who'll just tell me that he wants to sleep with me or tell me that he finds me attractive and wants to date me. Are there any men? Oh, look at that guy over there holding the sign. I'm going to go running towards that guy who has a big sign saying, hi, I'm honest and upfront. Here's what I want. And then you guys will make some absolute magic together. But if you play it safe, you're going to end up meeting a lot of people that aren't compatible with you. and will end up rejecting you in the end anyway when they find out what you want. You'll waste a whole lot of time, and time spent with someone who's not compatible with you is time you could have spent talking to more people and playing the numbers game. So don't waste your time. Don't waste her time. Be honest and upfront, and you will find the people that want the same thing as you, and there are lots of them. You also find that you like yourself a lot more when you're upfront and honest and authentic. Literally, you look in the mirror and you're like, I'm more proud of myself than I was a couple of weeks ago. Every single week, every month, every year, you build that confidence by being this upfront and honest, and you show yourself nothing bad happens when you're honest. In fact, beautiful things happen. And all of your fears were just illusions. They weren't real. You were so afraid of like getting slapped or something, or some woman saying, sex is disgusting. Why do you want that? And every now and then you might find a person like that. That's like 1 in 1,000 people. But what will happen most of the time is most of the people will just appreciate your honesty, and they'll either want the same thing you want or they won't. But either way, most people will appreciate your honesty and they will respect you for it. And then you will start to respect yourself. You will lay that head down on the pillow at night and you will be proud of what you have done that day. You'll be happy with the reflection of the man you see in the mirror. The guy looking back at you will have a smile on his face. And really, a lot of this is societal programming. It's conditioning to say sex is bad, or being upfront about sex is bad. You got to hide your intentions, because most people in society are playing not to lose. They're not going for what they want because they're too afraid of getting rejected or making a mistake or looking silly, or what if someone criticizes me? Fuck that shit. Are we here to just play it safe and imprison ourselves just because someone else might have an opinion about what we do? The only thing that really matters is your own opinion about you. You are the one that is with yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are going to be the one that lays your head down on that deathbed at the end of your life, and you'll either have lots of regrets or you'll be proud and happy and at peace with what you have chosen to do. And for me, I know I feel a lot better when I am honest and upfront with people, and I don't worry about the people that might have a problem with that. If someone has a problem with that, I say, God bless you. I hope you have a beautiful day. It was nice talking to you. All the best. And then I move on and talk to the next person. And it is so fucking rare that someone will really have a problem with you being this upfront and honest, especially if you do it like I said, you pair it with politeness. You're very nice and gentlemanly and all of that. You don't just say like, show me your tits, bitch. Yes, then you're going to get lots of negative reactions. But you say, hey, I'm looking for something sexual. Here's roughly what I want. Is that what you're looking for? Like, how does that suit you? That's being very polite, very upfront, very honest. Most people will have a very positive reaction to that. And even the ones that don't, you will immediately move on because you go, she's the rare exception who has a problem with me being upfront and honest. What would she prefer? That I waste her fucking time? Yeah, there are lots of women that want their time wasted. Look at these 2 screenshots here on the screen. Lots of women are just there to waste time and fuck around. Move on from those people and go find the people that will appreciate your honesty and you being upfront and raw and real. And really, at the end of the day, we are talking about respect here. Do you respect yourself? Do you respect your fellow human beings in the form of women to tell them what you want without wasting their goddamn time? Do you want to be able to look in the mirror and be like, I like what is reflected back at me? And so figure out what kind of dating or sex life or relationship life you want. Be very clear and intentional to yourself. Maybe write it down on a piece of paper. You're very welcome to leave a comment down below and state it, but say what kind of dating life or sex life you want. Write that down very clearly. Be very, very, very clear about what you want. And if you're really not sure, then just go out and try a bunch of different things. Maybe you can try casual sex. You can try something more serious, like experiment a bit. But for those of you who do know, be very clear. Write it down, and then just say that to everyone that you meet. Say, this is what I'm looking for. I'm very clear about what I'm looking for. I want this. Does that suit you? And sometimes you'll sort of figure it out together. Maybe she'll say, I want something sort of like that, but slightly different. And you hear that and you go, yeah, I think I'd be happy with that. And you explore. There's a little bit of figuring things out together with each person that you meet, but get a little bit more clear about what it is that you want and then start expressing that to people. And I promise you, you will get what you want 10,000 times more. You will feel much better about it. You will have much more trust with each person that you build something with. You will have a lot better and kinkier and more honest sex where you go a lot deeper because you can trust each other because you've been upfront and honest. I promise honesty and being upfront, especially when it comes to your sexual desires, opens so many doorways. Not everyone is going to be into it, and that's okay. But more than enough people will, and they will fucking love you for your honesty. And more to the point, you will love yourself for your honesty. All right, while we're talking about honesty, I am on a mission right now, gentlemen, to build my coaching program, to bring more people in, to change lives, to build something beautiful here. So if you have even considered coaching, jump on a free call with me. We can talk about it. I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to tell you that you have to sign up. We will talk through your goals, give you a bit of free coaching, talk through any fears, limiting beliefs, any of that. And we will see how me and the other coaches can help change your life, build you this amazing sex life that is built on honesty, authenticity, saying what you want, not fucking around with these goddamn silly games and playing it safe. Fuck that shit. We're here to help you win. You're going to have tons of sex, threesomes. Maybe you want to build a business. We can help with that. Whatever it is that you want, we will get it for you. I will leave a link in the description below, and we would love to change your life like we've changed many others. All right, guys, as always, go out there, build something beautiful. I promise that good things will happen if you can be honest. It's just about starting to become that authentic, attractive, masculine man that you can be. Women love guys that can be that upfront. They love guys that can be that non-judgmental, which is what you're showing her by being so upfront. You're saying, I won't judge you for your sex life. Hopefully you won't judge me for mine. And if you do, that's fine. I'm going to go talk to more people. I promise you can build that amazing sex life if you just be a little bit more upfront and honest. Because you can kind of think of it like this. You have two options. You can continue holding back, playing it safe, not really saying what you want, and attracting the wrong women. Or you can go all in, be honest, be upfront, and start attracting the women that align with whatever it is that you want and who will help you get it. Which one sounds better to you?